We got the bus. That's right. If you see it, you'll have to see it. If you know, you can recognize us.
That's
know
right.
Who it is.
That's right. Beautiful. With being a super busy woman in the music business, thank you for what you do, for standing up for us women and taking the music out there. It's a male-dominant business. Radio is a male-dominant business as well.
Right.
So as a woman, I find that you must be strong, get thick skinned, stand your ground, and how would you encourage a lot of youngsters, because your shows range from 6 to 96, all ages. You have a family atmosphere show, and I want to thank you, but what challenges have you come across because being a woman in the music business?
Well, I think, first of all, my dad instilled in me, don't ever let someone say you can't do something. So my attitude is usually, let's figure out a way. If somebody says, well, you can't do this, it's like, we should be able to. How can we do this? So that takes a lot of the challenge away, I think, if you just look at it as, it's a challenge of how can we do this, instead of how can we not do this. And, I don't think I've, I guess, been faced with a lot of, some women say, oh, they wouldn't let me do this, or I felt like I was, I couldn't play or I couldn't go on the road. For women, just being a woman, you're going to be a mother, and unless you're in a family group, I had the luxury of being, when my children were born, before they were born, and after they were born, and as I'm nursing, and as they get older, I'm traveling with my mom and dad and my 2 brothers. So that's a distinct advantage to be able to take your child along and take the girls with me. And I think that's one of the challenges that women face. I just talked to a makeup artist that we had just a few hours ago, and she said, I'm not going to have children because she said, I want to travel and I want to tour. And she said, I'm not the artist, so I'm not going to be able to take my child with me if I had a child, quitting. And it's like, no, what are you, and so next time I get, I got pregnant again, it's like, oh, well, I guess you're going to be quitting now. This is your second one. Oh, you're pregnant again. This is your third. Well, you'll for sure be coming off the road now. You won't be traveling anymore. Well, it's like, what are you talking about? Of course. And you find a way to make it work. you're always going to be faced with challenges, but I always look at it as, how can I make this work, or what can I do? I know a lot of women say, a male band will not hire a woman. Whether they're going to be whiny or, high maintenance or whatever. So I think, first of all, you want to make yourself be one of the guys, I think, first of all, instead of setting yourself apart like that. You want to be able to be a sufficient and efficient that you can travel with guys. You make sure your skill set is, to be able to go and perform with these guys. It's like, women cannot go on a basketball court with a guy who is much taller. It's not compatible. And it's the same thing. If you're going to go play, if you want to play whatever your music is, make sure that you perfect your craft, I guess, no matter what. And I think that's a lot of it is, know your music and find a way to do that, no matter what it is. If it's no male band, I want to travel with a male band, they won't hire me. Well, then I would suggest start your own band and hire them.
Absolutely.
So.
Which is what some of us in this band have done. I'm not saying who.
So you do travel with very talented men.
I do. Yes, they're all married men. Yes.
So then you come in with, sometimes that can add to drama. Thank you to your family for sharing you.
Aww.
Because families a lot of times get left at home. The musicians, thank you. You give more to your audience a lot of times, and then you come home, you're tired, and you got to mow the yard, and you got to rake the leaves, and you got to pay the light bill.
Yeah.
And then you got to pick up a loaf of bread on the way home.
Right.
That's a lot to do when the fun time, it looks fun on stage.
Right.
But I know there's a lot of hard work to get to that stage. So for the dedication that all of you travel and give, thank you. Family.
What do you think? And I asked my husband, we'd only been married a year. What do you think? And they said, you know what, if this is something you want to do, they never tried to say don't do it, to do it. They just said, you know what, you pray about it and you find out whatever you, and I said, you know what, this is an opportunity, and I don't think they ever wanted me to miss an opportunity. So I did that. I did it for 6 months, and my husband said, you know what? All right. He said, I can work anywhere. Either I'm moving there or you're moving back here. And I said, you know what? I want to move back home. I miss my family, and so I did move back home. But it is, support. You have to have that support, and there's a wonderful confidence when you have that support of your family that allows you to do that. And so I am so appreciative that I've called people that I wanted to audition in the band before. One guy in particular, and I'm not going to name names or anything, but there's a guy that I called and I asked him, and he said we set up an audition time, and I talked to him, and so we're going to have an audition whenever in the near future. And an hour later, he called me back, and he goes, my wife is not going to let me travel with you. So, that's the other side of that. It's like, either they don't want you, you don't know, you're in a situation. Luckily, I've been married now on Christmas Eve 33 years.
Oh,
and I know where my heart is, and, that's a lot of it is the person and their faithfulness. And so, I think you have to know that. You have to know and be confident in who you are. And it's like, if I'm going to go travel, as a perfect example, I did experience this. Now, this was before I was married, but I had a chance to go out in Las Vegas. Once again, my dad said, all right. So I went to Las Vegas and performed out there at the Frontier Hotel for 2 weeks with a group of men I had never met before. It was Dr. Ted Leon, who he may be listening here tonight. And so to have that opportunity, and here we are. I don't know any of these people, and we got there, and they had one hotel room. So what do? Well, I made them take the mattress and put it on the floor. I'm going to sleep over here, and they're kidding around and different things. But I knew where I stood. It's like it wasn't a problem for me. Grew up in a bus. We're in close proximity. There wasn't a temptation or anything like that. But all situations are different. But you just have to really know who you are and be confident in that. Mm-hmm. And conduct yourself like ladies and gentlemen. That's the main thing. You're a human being. Conduct yourself like a human, like ladies and gentlemen, and it's great.
Who in the band is the mechanic?
Oh, that's easy. Mickey Harris. Mickey Harris is the guy that can sing every part, play every instrument, and fix your car or anything else with duct tape and a paper clip. That I would say.
Who in the band is the best cook?
Ooh, probably Aaron or Brent. One of these two. But that's all of these guys. That's the crazy thing. All of them could probably cook for you.
I've been out of commission for a
So
while.
what about the comedian?
Simple.
Yeah, that would be Hunter Berry. That's pretty easy too. He keeps us laughing all the time.
Who's the psychologist?
Psychologist.
We need one.
You want to go on the road with us?
That's Lungs Open probably. Actually, Sally travels with us, and she has a degree in sociology. So perhaps, and she's also a vocal instructor over at East Tennessee State University. And I always say she can counsel you and teach you to sing all at the same time.
How do you think about taking on the role of the new queen of bluegrass given to you by the Wall Street Journal?
That was a real turning point in my life, because I had done a couple of country albums, been with my family before, and then in 2000 when I released my first project on Rounder Records, and soon after that was reviewed in the Wall Street Journal. They said the new queen of bluegrass. I won my very first of 7 consecutive female vocalists of the year from the IBMA, and we got a sponsorship with Martha White. So all of that was a wonderful, hey, you're in the right place at the right time. People say, when did you choose this, or when did you decide this is going to be your career? And I have to say, it was a way of life that evolved into a career, and it wasn't until a few years ago, because music business is sometimes unstable, and so you don't know, and it's like until a few years ago, it's like, and you can look at our dates. If I looked at our calendar right now for 2017, and there wasn't any dates on that, I would be a basket case. I would be, panicking. But I think I always looked ahead to see, how's the dates this year? And we look at our day, and we're right on course, the same as we have been. We do we're on the road probably 200 or 250 days, something like that. 140 playing dates, maybe 120. I don't know. I haven't counted them up this year, but you know, it's just a wonderful thing, and it tells you, you know, I think we're in the right place at the right time.
That's a lot of love and dedication to want to do this because, like you said, 140 playing dates.
Yeah.
But you got to get that day of travel, day off, day of
That's,
travel,
yes,
day off.
yeah.
Comedy or scary movie? What do you
Comedy,
like?
no scary movies, no.
I knew we were sisters.
Yeah.
I don't do.
These guys, I mean,
people talk about like Poltergeist and Jason. And
No.
all this. I don't know what
Yeah.
you're talking about, but I don't want no part of it.
yes, I am, me either.
What makes your spirit happy?
You know, traveling on the road, being with family.
And your favorite place to travel and why?
Ooh, my favorite place to travel. I like to, you know what? I like waking up in a different place each day, and it's really not so much the place, but I found out it's the people that make the places special. So we go to a lot of places, and they become like family.
Okay, but let me just say this.
Okay.
I've done very little travel. My
Oh.
husband is the professional traveler. He's a musician.
Oh,
and
yeah,
on
right,
the road
right.
all the time.
Yeah.
But when I do travel in the hotel, it's like, it's hot. You gotta cool down the hotel room. The bed's hard.
Oh.
The pillows were too big.
Oh yeah, always. Are they not always?
You
What is-
miss breakfast.
You sound like my wife.
Oh.
That's what she does.
I love being with the people, my
Yes.
husband especially.
Right.
But I can give me a bus any day. Let me sleep in the
Yes.
boat
Oh yeah.
because the hotel a different bed every night, and it's hot, it's cold,
The bus is our home, and for the most part, we don't normally get a hotel because of that. You know, we'd rather sleep in our own germs as someone's that we don't know.
Rhonda, Vincent, and the Rage. This segment has been all about getting to know you and the band, Who's Who, and I appreciate that. We've got more music and conversation, Rhonda Vincent here in studio. What would you like to perform for?
Well, I'm just thinking to myself, November 16th is still in California. It's still November 16th, right? So, do you realize? Here's some trivia to think about on what significant event or song was recorded on November 16th, 49 years ago. Any idea? You know what it is? Anyway, I think that song that was recorded 49 years ago that has become a very prominent song for Tennessee and by some of our very favorite people who hopefully are listening maybe tonight, the Osborne Brothers. And 49 years ago, November 16th of 2016, Rocky Top was recorded. Was released on Christmas Day, but we want to sing that in honor because we love Sonny and Bobby and we love Rocky Top. So. Is it okay if we do that?
Absolutely.
All right.
Vincent and the Rage on the All Nighter, 6:50 a.m. WSM.